It's the Nisi Prius Court. And you can box in a judge in any type of case you're involved in. U.S. citizen, state citizen, makes no difference. This is a general judicial notice that affects everybody. Okay? This is demand for judicial notice of Rule Nisi within a Nisi Prius Court. I'll read this and I'll explain how it operates. Notice is hereby given on blank day of blank 1996 at 13:30 hours or soon thereafter as the matter can be heard in courtroom blank of the above entitled court. We'll move the court to take judicial notice of the following. Paragraph. This court is part of the Nisi Prius court system codified in 1935. The Nisi Prius courts are, quote, are such as held for the trial of issues of fact before a jury and one presiding judge. That comes from Black's Law Dictionary, 4th edition, page 1197. This court, by being part of the Nisi Prius court system, must follow Rule Nisi, which is a, quote, a rule which will become imperative and final unless cause be shown against it. This rule commands the party to just show cause why he should not be compelled to do the act required or why the object of the rule should not be enforced. That comes from Black's Law Dictionary, page 1497. Paragraph. Since this court can require compelled performance, which is only allowed in a court which is enforcing some type of contract, it is Hornbook law that all contracts are either in equity or admiralty for enforcement purposes. Contract law forbids unjust enrichments to either party. Thus, based upon the foregoing, this court must take judicial notice that this court is merely enforcing some type of contract that would allow Rule Nisi to apply. Therefore, the court should dismiss this matter if the prosecution does not produce the contract or prove with admissible evidence that the accused was involved in the activity being regulated, with admissible evidence that invokes authority of the court. Hearsay or presumptions will not be permitted, since this is a criminal trial where an accused justly demands due process secured to him by the state constitution. We filed this notice on a traffic no driver's license case in Santa Barbara. And the judge says, yep, I'm accepting this. He says all the courts in the nation are Nisi Prius courts. They're all contract courts. When you get a traffic summons, that's a Nisi Prius summons. It's in order to show cause. So you have to take the rocks out of your wheelbarrow and put it in the government's wheelbarrow. You make it prove you're involved in the activity being regulated. And the judge up in Superior Court there in Santa Barbara told the prosecutor, Mr. Prosecutor, you know what you have to prove. If you don't prove it, I'm dismissing this case. So what is it they have to prove in a traffic case? First, you're a person, a legal entity. Second, you're involved in commercial activity. 2, you're an alien. 3, you're not entitled to any rights or privileges. 4, that you're a second-class citizen. 5, that you don't have the right to own property. 6, you might go on and on. I can give you about 20 different things they got to prove. Just on a traffic citation. Just from this one plea. If you know how to operate with it. Same way, any type of court case you're in. All federal courts are Nisi Prius courts also. Make them prove every single element. What's the first thing they got to prove in federal court? That you're an alien. You're a resident. You're a legal entity. That's several years back, a friend of mine was ordered to show cause in downtown Atlanta. And downtown LA. I don't know one thing on Atlanta. He was in downtown LA. And so he walked in there and he said, Your Honor, he said, I don't know why I'm here. The prosecutor, Mr. U.S. Attorney over there, is making allegations that I'm a legal entity. I'm not a legal entity. I am who I say I am. I'm a man. I'm not a legal entity. I'm not incorporated. I'm not a legal entity. And the judge looked over the prosecutor and said, Mr. Prosecutor, is that true what you said? You're making allegations that he's a legal entity? But, Your Honor, he's a tax protester. That's beside the point. He's not a legal entity. Can you prove he's a legal entity? If not, go home. It was an order to show cause. See, which is an Nisi Prius argument. And you have to prove, take the rocks out of your wheel, make them prove every single element of the alleged offense, regardless of what it is. There's numerous court cases saying the government has to prove every single element of the alleged offense, both state and federal. But you must know what those elements are. And if you listen to my internet radio show, I talk a lot about them. I give you different arguments that can